Welcome back everyone to another gear video as I get ready to do the Arizona Trail through hike here. This video is going to be all about the electronics that I'm going to be taking for this hike and how I vlog and upload everything. I guess we'll go ahead and start off with the camera that I'm using, filming right now. I use the Sony ZV-1. This is the second camera that I've used for hiking. The first one that I had survived the Appalachian Trail and the Pacific Crest Trail, but by the time I was done with those two hikes it was definitely getting a little worn down and worse for wear. So I went ahead and bought this new one at the start of doing the Continental Divide Trail. So it's got about 3,000 or so miles on it, and it's still doing okay. So I think I'll make it last for this year's hikes coming up, the Arizona Trail, and hopefully I can keep it for the Ice Age Trail coming up later. But I like the little camera in general. It's definitely got some quirks and flaws. I'm not that great at doing gear reviews in general, going all through the ins and outs, and I can barely kind of work it with the features that it has anyway, but it does enough for me. Small, compact in size, makes a good travel vlogging camera. In conjunction with use of the camera, I use the Ulanzi tripod, which is also set up with it right now, so I can't really show that off too well. But it's got an extendable little selfie stick that's about yay big or so, and works perfectly for holding it out in front of me and getting those selfie shots as I need, or set it up as a little tripod like it is right now. And to go along with how I video and edit everything on trail for your guys' enjoying pleasures, I take the Apple iPhone 13, I think this model is. I can't keep track of everything, but I got this about a year ago, I think, right before I did the Continental Divide Trail. Still going good. I haven't dropped it and fractured the screen at all yet, but I use this as my editing camera. I don't film or take many pictures with this thing in general, just rely on this main camera as my vlogging camera of choice. To get everything off of the camera and into the phone, I've got a little adapter dongle thing for that, and the main power source I use is this big 20,000 milliamp power battery from Anker. I've had this thing on a couple of trails now. I think I use this from the PCT and the CDT. It's going great, no lack in power distribution as far as I can tell. If I am careful with the power usage and conserve it as much as possible, I can probably get at least 10 days, if not more, worth of hiking just out of this thing. I'm only using the camera for my main power consumption. I use my phone just a little bit throughout the day to check routing on the Far Out app, and that's pretty much it. Otherwise, my phone is often in airplane mode, trying to conserve battery power as much as I can in that regard. So once I've got all the videos finally transferred onto the phone, the main app that I use to edit everything down to make a workable video is called LumaFusion. I bought it a couple of years ago before starting the Appalachian Trail. It was a one-time purchase for $30 and you're good to go for life. I've definitely gotten my money's worth out of it at this point, vlogging the whole Triple Crown and trails to come. I'll just keep using the same app now that I'm used to it. Works well enough. It's functionality limited, I think, in general for what I use for it. I don't do music backgrounds and fancy edit transitions. As long as I can make the clips go in a sequence and edit out some of the goofs, I'm good to go, and that's about all I'm good for as far as editing. So the limited functionality that I use the LumaFusion app is perfect for what I use. So rounding out some of the other electronic items that I've got, all the cables that I need to go hand in hand with making sure everything's charged up and transferring everything from camera to the phone and all that. Other iPhone cables. Once I'm in town, I can charge everything up via this Anker power brick. I've got dual power plug ports for normal USB and USB-C for making sure I've got everything charged up, and that's been working out just fine. One of the things I learned over the years is that the output wattage for this power brick makes all the difference if you have multiple devices plugged into it. So definitely you want a plug-in device wall charger that has a high enough power output to whatever device you're charging. And I guess some other video related editing and upload stuff. So I always make two versions of every single video that I film. The first one will be kind of a lower standard def quality, and that'll be the one that gets uploaded to YouTube. Once I've got that one edited, rendered, and finalized and uploaded, I delete that one from my phone and then I re-render one at like a maximum possible resolution, and that's my personal master copy. And I save that onto this SSD 1 terabyte drive that I take with me. So I'll plug this into everything and copy that final version onto this just to keep those backup master copies. And some other electronic items that I keep is an extra backup battery for my camera, the Sony ZV-1. This cool little carry case for the extra battery is neat because this is a little charger pack for it. So I can plug this right into the battery bank and recharge my extra camera batteries that way. This has been really handy. All the camera charging and stuff in general has done the whole triple crown, so that stuff's been going pretty good. No breakdowns in a lot of these electronic items. I always keep an extra backup of the raw footage as well, so every hike I have to rebuy more these little SD cards. A couple of cards here should last me the whole Arizona trail, so I'm going to take 2 of these. And one more thing, video editing related, I always take the little earphones with me just in case I'm around a bunch of people and I'm doing my video editing. I don't want to make a lot of noise, so I keep these plugged into my ears and just using these for video editing. And all of these electronic odds and ends are going to be stored in this little tiny Dyneema bag that I got from Z-Packs. So there's my primary electronics bag storage right there. And I think the last electronics related item that I've got is the Petzl Actic Core headlamp. I don't do any night hiking. I like to get to camp relatively early, get set up in the light, cook up my dinner, and just kind of enjoy the evenings that way. And I wake up and hike out of camp right at sunrise. So no night hiking in general, but every once in a while. And it's always good to have this anyway in case you're stuck out in the dark. But this one has served me well. It's done the whole triple crown. It's got plenty of bright and light intensities, including a red light, so you're not disturbing everybody else around camp, and you still need to see in that regard. So I think that covers all the electronic items that I'm definitely taking. The last item I'm going to talk about here is kind of a 50-50, I may take this, and that's going to be this little Garmin Mini InReach. I've used this on the last 2 trails that I did, the PCT and the CDT, and I would highly recommend anyone doing those 2 trails to have something like this, just so you can have some type of emergency SOS. There's a lot more remote sections of trail on those 2 big trails. I think the Arizona trail in general, I'm not going to need something like this. So I'm 50-50 whether I just take this anyway and use it, or just leave it at home. I don't know. I'll let you guys know probably the day I hit the trail whether I actually take this or not, but this is a maybe. But this thing has been very, very awesome to use. I don't use any of the push button functionality on here. There's an app program that comes with this thing that you can have on your iPhone or whatever phone you've got. That works great. So if I need to send out a text message, I just type it out on my phone, and this thing I really only ever use it for is just the antenna, and send out text messages. You can get weather updates and all that kind of stuff depending on whatever subscription plan you go for. So I'll let you know whether we actually take this or not on trail. So now I think that's about everything. One item I just kind of touched on briefly but never really went into detail is the Far Out app. That can be used on all smartphone devices, and that is the primary routing app that I use, and highly, highly recommended for any long trail that you're doing, because you can find all kinds of information, topo maps, waypoint descriptions. People hiking the trail can input user information for different sites. You can get water reports and where camping locations are at. So I like to reference the Far Out app a lot, and it is very, very handy. Each trail costs a different amount of money, usually on the length of the trail. But I think that's about it. So let me know if you got any questions electronics related. I think I've only got one more video gear-wise to come out, and that'll be the everything else video. So stand by in a few days. We should see that one coming out. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.